Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Lenny Cooper, and today I have a different kind of video again. I'm actually making this for my psychology and family studies class. I'm going to be discussing Hideo Kojima's 1998 Metal Gear Solid, originally released for the PlayStation 1. We'll be going in depth on how Metal Gear Solid relates to nature versus nurture. All clips and audio are from Metal Gear Solid, and the rest I got from online. Before I talk about Metal Gear, I must explain the concept of nature versus nurture, followed by a quick summary of the Metal Gear Solid game. Spoilers will be included. This game is more than 20 years old. I recommend you experience this wonderful game and its rich storytelling and characters before continuing this video. As always, I'm Lenny Cooper. Please enjoy. What is the concept of nature versus nurture? It is the belief that the environment, such as social status, environmental status, etc., it is believed that this is what makes us us. While the other side believes that it is our genetic traits passed down from one another, such as health, appearance, maybe even personality. Many believe that the way we act is because of our genetics. The nature side of the argument stems from behaviourism, that what surrounds us influences our behavior. B.F. Skinner was one of the founding fathers of behaviourism, and he was most well known for his concept of radical behaviourism. Radical behaviourism is the idea and study that animals' behavior can be compared to humans and how organisms react to the environment. It is not claiming that the organisms are tabula rasa, Latin for clean slate. This means organisms' behavior is unaffected by biological or genetic endowment, basically meaning experiential factors play a major role in behavior. Genetics may give them an edge in their day-to-day life, but really their environment that makes them behave the way they do. Back to the nurture side. The expression nature versus nurture goes way back to the 16th century. Many believe our genes make us who we are. I hope to convince you that genes don't make us who we are, but it's actually our environment and our experiences. The whole concept, nature versus nurture, is still being studied till this day, which is very fascinating. I hope you guys have a basic understanding what this all means. Now I'm going to talk about Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear. In Metal Gear Solid, we play as Solid Snake, a special ops, now retired member of the Foxhound unit. Snake is called back into action as you are the only man capable of taking down a terrorist group known as Foxhound. Since Snake's retirement, his unit has gone rogue and taken over by a new member with the same codename as Snake, Liquid Snake. Liquid Snake and his rogue members of Foxhound demand that the world power hand over the remains of Big Boss, the best soldier in existence now dead, but his body is kept and researched on, as well as $1 billion. If the terrorist group, which I'll refer to as Foxhound's, demands aren't met, they will launch a nuclear strike. It is your mission, that is Snake's mission, to stop the terrorists and save any hostages. Throughout the course of the game, we meet new and old characters, such as Frank Yeager, better known as Cyborg Ninja. In the original Metal Gear 2, released for the MSX, you, Solid Snake, save Frank, the best soldier of the Fox unit. Frank Yeager is the only member to receive the Fox code name. Frank Yeager, or known as Gray Fox on the battlefield, fought and was captured by Big Boss. Left near death following an intense battle, his body was recovered and outfitted with an exoskeleton. The theory states that aging is programmed due to one or more harmful genes within each organism. The gene theory suggests that human lifespan is an inherited trait. Genes do not present themselves naked to the scrutiny of natural selection. Instead, they present their phenotypic effects. Phenotypic effects meaning a gene's edge in its environment. A good example would be an organism family being large, so its offspring is most likely going to be large. This ties in a bit with the selfish gene theory, meaning a strong gene will take over the weaker one, and the weaker ones are left behind because they're not needed for their environment. I'm now going to start reaching into heavy spoilers from Metal Gear Solid. About halfway through the game, we find out that the terrorist leader we've been hunting down is in fact our brother. Not just an ordinary brother, though.
Did you like my sunglasses? You point a weapon at your own brother?
So it's true. You and I are...
Yes, twins. But we're not ordinary twins. We're twins linked by cursed genes. Les enfants terribles.
In the world of Metal Gear Solid, in the 1970s, an experiment called Les Enfants Terribles, or the Terrible Children, was conducted. Using Big Boss's genes, they made 8 separate clones, but only 3 of them lived. These children at a very young age would be in the battlefield, where they would learn and be taught everything they know. Solid Snake fought for everything he believed in, while Liquid Snake fought against everything he was told.
He always told me I was inferior, and now I'll have my revenge. You should understand me, brother. Well, I'm not like you. Unlike you, I'm proud of the destiny that is encoded into my very genes.
Find something to believe in, and find it for yourself. And when you do, pass it on to the future.
We were created to be that way.
Created?
They used me as a guinea pig. I got all of the recessive genes.
Solid Snake never knew about the Terrible Children experiment until now. He only ever fought for what he believed was right. Liquid Snake spent most of his life reminded of how his genes were weaker. We don't find out till later that this is in fact false.
Yes, the inferior one was the winner after all. That's right. Till the very end, Liquid thought he was the inferior one. No, son. No one knows that you were the third one. Solidus. Bye, Mr. President.
So at the very end of the game, we found out that Liquid had the dominant genes. Since his entire life he was told he had the weaker genes, he believed it. This set a mental barrier on himself at a young age. Solid Snake only knew of someone who claimed to be his father. It wasn't until later in life where he found out where his genes came from. Both had identical genetics, but one was raised to believe his genes were cursed. Solid Snake being raised by many people throughout his life and his time on the battlefield. He had a slightly more positive upbringing compared to his brother. Liquid's downfall was his upbringing. He was stronger and faster than Solid, but due to his childhood, he didn't believe himself to be stronger.
What about me? When am I gonna go?
That's up to you.
What do you mean?
Everybody dies when their time is up.
Yeah, so when's mine up?
It's up to you how you use the time left to you. Live, Snake. That's all I can say to you.
Each person is born with their fate written into their own genetic code. It's unchangeable, immutable. Just like with the genome soldiers. You can input all the genetic information, but that doesn't make them into the strongest soldiers. The most we can say about DNA is that it governs a person's potential strengths, potential destiny. You mustn't allow yourself to be chained to fate, to be ruled by your genes. Humans can choose the type of life they want to live.
Okay, that brings me to the end of my Metal Gear Solid analysis of nature versus nurture. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you stuck around until now, don't forget to like and subscribe. There may be more content in the future you enjoy. As always, I'm Lenny Cooper. Peace, y'all.